Hey, what's up there? This is a bite down. Pay me no mind. Hold on, tripping. That when that thing mean live, it mean live. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. Just checking in on the tournament. Just finished watching North Carolina close out the UW University of Washington Huskies, and just the tournament, man, is phenomenal this year. I hate to go in and say this is the best ever. Obviously, I've been watching this for a long time and have seen some phenomenal teams and some phenomenal fields. But it just seems like with the Duke squad, obviously with the star power that they have, the balance of UNC is phenomenal. The pace that they play at is awesome. Michigan is a very solid, well-rounded team as well, and these teams are playing at a high level right now, which makes it even more interesting. Everybody seems to be relatively healthy. Nobody's really missing, key players and whatnot. So it's just an enjoyable tournament. Um, Tennessee is another very deep, well-rounded team, playing good ball, play well with one another. Had a phenomenal game. I wish I had my bracket in front of me on my computer, but yeah, I was just checking in, man, just to see. I'm doing okay in my bracket. 2 or 3 years of running the bracket for the podcast. It'd be nice to be in first place, like for one round or one day, to see my name atop, so that I know it looks like I know what I'm talking about, but hasn't happened yet. But that's cool. I do appreciate everybody that's supported the bracket and participating in it. And next year I'm gonna try to step it up a little bit better. Um, Other than that, I'm trying to think what other team. It is a little odd not to see a school like Xavier, a program like Xavier, which is one of my favorite college basketball programs. It's odd to see them missing from the field, and the coaching changes and whatnot finally caught up with them and kind of broke the consecutive streak, that they had, and the effectiveness in the recruiting game and whatnot. So they weren't in there this year. Locally, the University of Dayton was unable to make it into the field this year. So it was a little weird locally, and that's two instances. What else was I going to say? UC got put out in the first round by Iowa. That was a game that I thought study long, study wrong on that one, because I took UC. I'm not a fan of them in the tournament, but not every year. But it just seemed like a weird year for UC. And plus, I don't know. No, I just leave it at that. It just seemed like a less dominant year for them, and the talent has been a little down lately. Another game that really surprised me, where I studied pretty hard on, was the obvious weird pairing with Minnesota and Louisville in the first round, I believe, in the opening games with Patino. I don't know if it's Patino Jr. or Patino just his son, but Rick Pitino's son being the coach over there in Minnesota, and Michigan State is another team that I didn't mention. I think that's who put them out, was Michigan State. But with Patino's kid being over there, and obviously with the Gophers playing Louisville in the first game, I had to waffle a little bit on who to go with on that one, and of course I picked the wrong team. But I thought Louisville had a great showing earlier in the season against Michigan State. I might be wrong on that, but I thought they had a won by a wide margin in that Big Ten ACC challenge, but I could be wrong. North Carolina 81-59. That's a pretty impressive game because because of the differential in the score. But for Carolina to do most of that or hold on to their lead with Garrison out was pretty impressive, because while he doesn't score a lot, he helps with the interior defense, rebounding, and rim protection, adding some physicality to the team, and that Dickerson kid was in there moving some folks around. So it was interesting to see. But and on my major bracket in my pool, UNC is my winner, and it's mainly just because of that team balance, man. And honestly, if Luke May plays smart and he's not shooting the ball well from deep this year. But his mid-range game, if he stays committed to the mid-range and then getting some additional buckets on the block, runs the court, and maybe picks up some buckets in transition, he's an excellent college player. But Kentucky is also out there. They're solid. Getting ready to see Houston here against Ohio State at 8:40 tonight. I did think that Auburn was going to take out Kansas, at least on one of my brackets. Just with Kansas, heck of a year for them to make it without, what was it, Azubuike is his name? But to miss a key piece like that and to still go on and earn a fourth seed and, the streak of winning the conference, the Big 12 and whatnot, that was broken. But, it's hard to replace a guy like Azubuike. So that's that. Yeah, like I said, I was trying to see if anybody would check in and chop it up, wanted to chop it up with the game. I mean, about the tournament. It doesn't look like that's happening. Before I do get off of here, I put in some work this weekend in terms of on the boxing side, some articles and stuff. So please go over to bitedownboxing.com and check out the article that I put out there for my breakdown of why Claressa Shields will be undisputed middleweight champion of the world on April 13th over Christina Hammer. I got 3 reasons why that's happening. Also had a chance to put together a little piece of salute and congratulate a sister who's a friend of the podcast, but Tierra Brown, a super featherweight out of the D.C. area, who was selected as or was awarded the Officer of the Year for the 6th District in Washington, D.C. I just think that's phenomenal. Brown is signed to DeBella Entertainment, so she's on the DeBella roster, and she's a full-time police officer, as well as an undefeated 7-0 fighter with 5 KOs. And the woman has skills, but she's an excellent human being. I mean, she's good. She's great people. So I just wanted to get that out there for her. And then also, man, I had to holler at the far left of the Deontay Wilder, following, to just having some fun, man. That's another thing. Everything out here that gets said, isn't a complete affront to another individual. It's not all about smoke, Some of the questions and things that I brought up about Deontay Wilder are strictly within reason. There's some logic behind the point that I'm bringing up or the question that I'm asking. It's not simply let me hate on this cat. Now, has anybody seen the Instagram picture with that Deontay has out there in this black suit with some kind of studs stuff on it? I don't know if that's his ring entrance get up for what is that, May 18th against Dominic Brazil, but the outfit or costume, whatever you want to call it, man, is pretty phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie, it's over the top, but it is dope. Whoever did it, and if that is what he's rocking to his ring walk, that's one thing I do, tip my cap to the brother. His theatrics that he includes in his fights, before the bell rings is undeniable. I mean, so if that's what he's rocking with, it's awesome that and maybe that's because they thought the Fury rematch was gonna happen, so he has this get up or this costume early, but I'm sure if you're a Deontay fan, you follow him on Instagram, so you've probably seen it. But that's an interesting get up, man. I'm serious. So without, yeah. Anyway, so all that's out there. Obviously, the other stuff that I did this weekend is already up on the YouTube channel, so you may or may not have already seen that. That's out there. Again, I'm all about just trying to build with everybody, man. So any of the interaction, feedback, and communication on here is always welcome. And that's it, man. Let me go on and get into this second half of tonight's games. Also, I don't know what time my apologies, but I don't know what time the Peterson and Lipinets fight goes down tonight. But that should be starting probably in the next 2 or 3 hours. And it might be some stuff on FS1. I'm a little behind on some of my coverage of all of that, so I'm not going to try to expound on that at the moment. But again, thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. I'm the host of it all, Wood. And like I said, please do check out that content at bitedownboxing.com. Also put the Deontay Wilder piece, or is that, the Deontay Wilder piece is up at roundbyroundboxing.com. So